Before there was silence, there was chaos. Before design, there was the unknown. In the space between what can be seen and what must remain unseen, something extraordinary was created, not built to be admired, but to disappear. They said design begins with vision, but the greatest designs are the ones no one ever sees. The art of stealth is not about hiding. It's about becoming untouchable by perception itself. Every line, every curve, every surface is calculated not to be noticed, but to vanish into the geometry of silence. To design invisibility is to design belief. There is a kind of beauty that cannot be heard, a harmony that exists between the edges of sound and silence. In the world of stealth, silence is not the absence of noise. It is the design of stillness itself. It is the deliberate crafting of what must never be heard. Every submarine, every stealth aircraft, every vessel built to disappear is shaped by the geometry of silence, a discipline where mathematics meets art and physics becomes poetry. Engineers of silence are not ordinary builders. They are sculptors working in frequencies, artists whose canvas is the invisible vibration of air and water. They study echoes as painters study color, learning how to bend and break sound until it folds in on itself. Each curve of the hull, each layer of tile, each surface of metal is tuned like a symphony, a quiet orchestra conducted by equations. In their world, sound is a weapon, but also a language. They speak in decibels, in reverberations and reflections that only machines can hear. A whisper in water can betray a nation. A single miscalculated vibration can reveal what was meant to be hidden. And so, they design the impossible, to make something vast move through darkness without leaving a trace, without even disturbing the water that holds it. Inside the anechoic chambers where silence is born, you can hear your own heart like thunder. The air feels thicker there, as if sound itself is afraid to exist. It is in these rooms that humanity confronts its oldest paradox. To control silence is to understand chaos. To design what cannot be heard is to master what cannot be seen. Because silence, in its purest form, is not emptiness. It is precision. It is discipline. It is the quiet proof of human genius that even nothingness can be engineered. And when silence moves through the deep, cold, dark, eternal, it carries with it a kind of grace, the kind of beauty that only exists when the world finally stops to listen. Beneath every silent machine, behind every system designed to vanish without a trace, there is a single, restless mind. The machine may be made of metal, but its soul is human. The human algorithm is not a line of code. It is an instinct, sharpened by logic, fueled by obsession. They are the ones who dream in patterns, who hear in their sleep the echoes of things that do not yet exist. They imagine reflections before light touches the surface and predict the sound of silence before it is ever heard. To them, stealth is not a concept, it's a heartbeat. Every decision, every calculation is part of a grand equation that seeks one impossible goal: to make something powerful completely disappear. Inside their minds, mathematics becomes intuition. The laws of physics bend to imagination. And between what is measurable and what is felt, a new kind of intelligence takes form. They see the world not as shapes and sounds, but as flows and frequencies, rivers of energy, each with its own rhythm, each capable of betraying or concealing life. To erase a signature, they must first understand it. To make something unseen, they must first study how the world sees. It is not enough to build a machine. They must design absence itself to give form to what does not exist. And that is where humanity meets its mirror. Because in the search for invisibility, we reveal everything about who we are. Our fear of being seen, our desire to be perfect, our longing to escape ourselves. Behind every algorithm, there is a person who believes that silence can protect, that stillness can survive, and that invisibility is an act of creation. The machine disappears, but the mind that built it remains, echoing quietly inside the darkness it has designed. Light defines the world, but shadow gives it meaning. Stealth lives between the two, not in darkness, but in balance. It is the space where what we see and what we cannot see exist together, in quiet tension. To master stealth is not to erase yourself. It is to understand contrast, to know exactly how much light to reveal and how much to let the darkness keep. Every reflection, every contour is a dialogue between exposure and restraint. The ocean, the sky, the metal, they all speak in light. And those who design invisibility learn to listen to its silence. Invisibility is not an act of hiding. It is choreography, a dance between presence and perception. Like a shadow that bends with the sun, a stealth vessel bends with its environment, changing shape without changing identity. The artist of stealth works in gradients. They paint with photons, sculpt with echoes, and choreograph motion so precise that stillness itself becomes an illusion. When lightning splits the sky, the shadow reveals its edges, and in that fleeting moment, beauty and fear become one. Because stealth is not born from fear of being seen, but from mastery of being known. To disappear is not to run from the light. It is to know it so completely you can command when it touches you. The poetry of shadows is written in contrast and control. It teaches us that darkness is not the enemy. It is the stage upon which light performs. In that space between existence and erasure, between sound and silence, humanity has found something extraordinary. The power to choose when the world should see us and when it should not. And maybe that's what stealth truly is. Not a weapon, but wisdom. The wisdom to disappear, only when it matters most. Every era has its artists. Ours builds silence. They do not work with brushes or strings, but with frequencies, reflections, and air. Their masterpieces do not hang on gallery walls. They drift beneath the ocean's skin. They glide through storm clouds. They live in the stillness between sound and motion. To design invisibility is to sculpt faith, to create something that must never be seen, but must always be trusted. These artists work in secrecy. Their audience is the void, their applause, the absence of detection. They build things that should not exist, machines that can move unseen, and yet, in their invisibility, reveal the deepest parts of who we are. Because to make something disappear is to confront the idea of existence itself. The invisible artist does not chase glory. They chase perfection. Not the kind that shines, but the kind that vanishes flawlessly into its purpose. Their palette is mathematics, their rhythm, vibration, their muse, silence itself. Each design is a meditation, a dialogue between creator and void. Every decision, from angle to alloy, is an act of devotion to disappearance. And though the world may never know their names, their creations whisper through the dark, not as noise, but as echoes of intention. When the ocean trembles and the sky falls silent, their work speaks, not loudly, but perfectly. To build silence is to build peace. To vanish completely is to endure forever. For these unseen architects, invisibility is not the end of visibility. It is the beginning of meaning. And when their creation fades into the dark, what remains is not absence, but presence, refined to its purest form. In the end, everything we build, everything we create, everything we hide exists for a reason. The invisible is not the absence of form. It is the presence of purpose. Stealth is more than science. It is intention, a reflection of our need to shape what the world cannot see. When silence moves through the deep and light fades beyond reach, what remains is not emptiness, but meaning. The machines vanish, the noise ends, but the vision continues, carried quietly in every equation, in every design, in every act of belief that says the unseen still matters. Perhaps invisibility was never about disappearing. Perhaps it was about learning to exist without demanding to be seen. Because sometimes the most powerful presence is the one that leaves no trace at all. But your presence, your voice, keeps this story alive. If this vision spoke to you, subscribe and help us keep designing the invisible.